Hello and welcome. I'm Richard Ran from Phoenix TV, and today I'm very glad to be here in Macau for the Beyond Expo 2024 to host the Asian Innovation Forum. And in this afternoon, I will be talking with 5 leading entrepreneurs, and some of them are the founders of unicorns, and trying to find them how they get success in their career and their experiences and insights in entrepreneurship. And now let's welcome our first guest, Dr. Justin Gong, co-founder and Senior Vice President of XAG. Let's welcome Justin. Take your seat. Well, firstly, Justin, I would like you to introduce yourself briefly to our audience.
Okay, hi, good afternoon. My name is Justin Gong, the co-founder of XAG, an agriculture technology company based in Guangzhou. But previously, I was your colleague. I worked for Phoenix TV for 3 years, actually. Yeah.
All right. So we know that for entrepreneurship, the founder's personality is very important. So what kind of person you are?
It's a good question. According to the newest test, I am INTJ. So I don't know what that means. I'm actually quite open-minded, but I don't seek for crowd. I have big passion for technology, and I believe technology is the only way out for human beings. So that's why I spend most of my life trying to develop and promote the use of technology in rural areas.
Yeah, we have talked a little before the forum, and I can feel your enthusiasm. Do you think enthusiasm is the essential in creating your own business in the startups? So what kind of personality do you think an entrepreneur should have to get success?
First of all, I think it's a passion. You have to be passionate about what you believe and what you want to do for the rest of your life. To be an entrepreneur, especially if you want to found a company and lead a team, you have to have strong faith of what you are really doing and you are really believing, and make this belief into action until you can influence other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is your interpretation for leadership?
I think it's just the ability to be able to put the vision and the mission into action, and that is the leadership. I don't really, read and to learn about how to leading and how to manage a company, a team. It's all about doing the things you really believe, and then the people, doing things together with you. Yeah.
Yes, we all have shortcomings, right?
Yeah.
So what is your weakness, and does it have any impact on your entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think my weakness is about I'm too positive sometimes.
Too positive?
I'm too positive.
Why?
Yeah, because when we first meet,
you're always looking at the good side and ignore the bad side.
Yeah. Sometimes I always I ignore the bad side, and until it hurts me.
Is it good? I mean, is it an advantage for a young entrepreneur?
If you have a good co-founder, I mean, me and my partner, we are, two different, we are opposite.
Okay.
And sometimes he's not so positive about this. I'm really positive, so we can always have good competition and argument, and end up with a balanced idea or decision. Yeah.
So, what is your definition of perfect partners?
I think in terms of belief and value, you have to be the same. Mm-hmm. But in terms of skill set, mindset, and culture background, it's better to be different. And then you have a comprehensive understanding of the things what you are doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you find them?
Yes, I have the best partner.
So how did you find the perfect partners? I mean, it's not an easy task, right?
No.
Okay, so by chance?
Yeah.
Or just in time?
I think it's by chance.
Okay.
To be honest. In 2009, I was working on a documentary about the environment in Tasmania, Australia, and I was trying to design a camera with the ability to fly. So basically, an aerial photography drone. Today, it's really popular. Back in 2008 and 9, no one is making that. It's really rare. And I was looking for someone who can make a radio-controlled drone, and so I can put my camera on. And I met my partner, business partner, Peng Bing, on the internet, on the RC Hobbies forum. And then we become really good friends. We designed drone together until today. Yeah.
So how do you cooperate with your partners? What is your interpretation of teamwork?
Teamwork. I think it's really hard to say because today our company is still operating like a small team. We don't have big hierarchies and stuff. It's all set by projects and passion. So I think to operate a team, the feel, the energy, the feel of the team is all of you believe in one direction and one thing, and then you trust each other. It's easy to say, but it's really hard. Once you have a company with more than 1,000 people, the trust is the scarcity.
So let's talk about your transition in your career.
Yeah.
You were a documentary film producer, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big gap. That's a big gap from media to business. So what happened? What made the transaction?
Okay. In 2013, I was actually part-time working for Phoenix TV as a foreign correspondent cameraman.
Yeah.
And I was making a documentary for Nat Geo. And I'm also working together with my partner now, and we're developing the aerial camera together. And he invited me to come back to China. I was in Australia, and he invited me to come back to China. We went to Xinjiang, in Kuala, South Xinjiang. And it's my first time to see the vast cotton field. And I was shocked because it looks so modernized, big machineries, but the spraying chemical job is still done by people. So they use the backpack and hand spraying the cotton before harvest. And I can smell from distance, it's really, really bad smell, acidity, and it's a tedious job. And also my friend told me it's really hard to hire people to do that job anymore. All the young generations moving to the city, and people are getting old here. So I was thinking, can we use our drone, not just the documenting stuff, but to change it? And later on, I learned China is one of the biggest, of course, agriculture country. We have only less than 10% farmland, but we're feeding more than 22% of population worldwide. And agriculture produces the most pollution, about 22% also, the pollution to total environment. So if we can use drone to do precision spray, autonomous work, it's not only just changing the industry, it's changing the whole world. So I decided to come back to China, and we formed a new company called the Jifei Keji, XAG, to utilize drone technology, helping farmers make farming autonomous.
So you said you were inspired by your working experience
Yes.
for Phoenix TV, and you started your own business where you are specialized, you are an expert. Many young entrepreneurs, they might be tired with their current job. They might be enthusiastic in other parts of this job. So do you recommend them to make the same change like you did, made the same transition? In what condition can they make such a transaction?
Okay, it has to be rational. I see so many people just made a decision, quit the job, and then become a startup or back their hometown to start up a farm, something like that. It's crazy. Everyone wants to have a freedom of time and the money, but to be able to be a startup, you have to be prepared. It's really, really, it's much more tedious, much more, hard job than working in a firm. But if you really believe the things you want to do can really change the status quo, or you can really make difference to help your customers or users to save time, save money, or create new job opportunities, just go ahead, because the society needs you to do that. But for me, I think we were really lucky, because in the past 10 years, it's a booming time in China. We call it 大众创新,万众创业. Everyone can have this opportunity, and the capital, the investment, the government being so supportive. It's changing now, actually. I'm not saying it's not good time, but it's really different right now. And we were lucky because in that period of time, we made the right decision. Even though no one actually seeing XAG was in the right direction because agriculture. We're selling drones and robots to farmers. No one believed in. But now, look at back. In China, we call it rural revitalization program or 低空经济, low altitude economy, or today, 新质生产力. Everything is now moving towards us. So we become the star today. But 10 years ago, or 5 years ago even, no one is looking at us. No one's looking back to the countryside, actually. Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about XAG. As I know, it's a robotics and AI company, and you're one of the founders. So what is your goal?
Our goal is to make agriculture production more efficient, producing more with less. This is our goal. Yeah.
So have you achieved your goal?
It's an ongoing project. Short term, we want to introduce drones, autonomous technology to the farmers, so they don't need to worry about hiring people, labor shortage. And also, in long term, we want to utilize AI technology and robotics to help farmers to fight with uncertainties like climate change, environmental change. So yeah, it's an ongoing project.
All right. So you have also founded XAG Academy.
Yes.
Well, is it part of your business or just for public benefit?
It's part of the business.
All right.
Yes.
In which way?
Think about today in the farmland, our average age of our farmers beyond 60 years old. That's aging population, and we are introducing drones, robots, and AI to the farmland. But who's gonna be the operator? Who's taking care of the robots? We need a whole new generation of farmers to be able to, utilize this. So what do we do is in 2016 actually, in China we founded XAG Academy. First, we train the local young generation farmers to be able to pilot our drones, so drone pilots. Now, facial or drone pilots in China is a big population. More than 200,000 people are able to fly the agriculture drones. But later on, we find out those people, young generation farmers, they are able to operate drones because it's getting easier and easier, but they don't have the knowledge of agronomy. Right? They have to understand the crop science to identify disease and weed. Right? So then we introduced more and more program into this to make sure our next generation are future farming ready.
All right. So beside China, do you plan to expand your market like to Southeast Asia or globally?
Yes, we do. Actually, by today, we have operation in 63 countries and regions, mostly in Southeast Asia, Latin America, currently in Middle East and Africa. So it's similar to China. Smallholder farming, and also few farms are segmented, small pieces of land, but developing countries. And we see a big trend. For example, Vietnam. Yes, my father runs a textile company, and their worry is, all the textiles fabric company is moving to Vietnam, right? Like Nike, Adidas. But we see another trend. Because so many factories are being built in Vietnam and Thailand, they also don't have young labor force in the farmland. And they also need to produce rice and crops. So they are importing our drones and robots. So we see it's a big circle, right? And we see the need. So actually we are trying to expand our business and services in those regions, similar to China.
Yeah. As we know, that each market has different background, different cultures, different policies. Do you have different strategies for each market?
Very different. Very different.
How?
Yeah.
Yeah. Explain that.
I was in the States last month, and we see in the United States all the farmlands are being already privatized, right? So all private land, big farms, they buy John Deere tractors, millions of dollars, so they can afford the equipment. That's why the business model is easy. We found a good dealer in the region who's selling the tractors and equipment, and become our dealer, sell the equipment. But if you go to Brazil, go to Latin American countries, or Southeast Asia, you find out exactly the same like 10 years ago in China. They cannot afford those equipment. So we have to help the local startups, the young generation farmers, to form small companies and find the financial partners for them, insurance companies for them, and then help them to buy our own drone and provide the services to the farmers. The infrastructure is zero, so we have to help them to build navigation. In China, we have Beidou and 4G, 5G network all across the country. But in most of the other countries, they don't have. So we also help them to connect with the local telecommunication companies. Yeah, so it's more like an incubator model in the developing countries. Yeah.
I see. For many young entrepreneurs, it's not an easy task for them to seek fund to get investment.
Yes.
So how did you do that? How did you persuade your investors to constantly, to put money on your business?
For us, I said we were lucky. In the past 10 years, it's easy to get money. I can say that. Easier than today, right?
Where? From where?
We have our good investors like Chenwei Capital, SoftBank, Hill House, Baidu. They are all our very good partners, investors. But lately, it's been quiet, right? The capital market. The way to make sure they are constantly having faith on us is seeing the growth. The growth is so important. I remember back in 2014, when we first released our drone to the farmland, no one buying it. Too expensive. The drone was like 200,000 RMB, 21. And the capacity 6 liter. So 200,000 RMB drone can only carry 6 liter. It's like a toy. But today, 40,000 RMB, 40,000 RMB, 4万. One set drone carries 70 kilograms of chemical and seeds. And the efficiency is way beyond the traditional tractors. So you can see the expansion of market, the drop of price, but the volume increases. So that's first thing, give the strong face to our investors. The business is growing. Second is the social value. The social value is enormous because everyone knows food security become our priority for our country, worldwide, for any country. So the government, the investors, they all seeing that right now, especially after the COVID and the Ukraine war. Everyone's concerned about food security. That's the second thing, social value. And third one is it's a really good business. It's really good because now after the crisis of the real estate, crisis of a lot of things, internet forms, now everyone's looking back to agriculture. Right? So having a farm has become everyone's dream. And so investing in farms, farm equipment become a relatively good business and a stable business. So three of them combined together, we are still a very good profile company in our investors' eyes.
As for your drone, did you buy them or rent them or assemble them or you produce them?
We design, produce, sell, and train and service them.
Wow. So do you think that's the advantage for your business?
Yes and no. At the beginning, not, because it's too expensive. We are doing the way of vertical integration, we call it, just like Tesla. We even design our batteries chemical compound. We design the aluminum. We design the composite material with partners like Saint-Gobain, 3M, Airbus, to make sure we can get the right material for our product. So at the beginning, it's too expensive to doing that. The outsourcing, is cheaper and quicker, right? We've seen a lot of companies using that strategy, and you can quickly have your product to be able to sell on the market, and because China, the manufacturing power is enough. But today, we see our advantage. Our drone is much cheaper than our competitors, but with higher capacity, higher ability, and more autonomous. And now we are the second largest drone makers, actually. DJI is number one. In terms of total sales volume, we are number two.
So you're the second?
Yes, in terms of sales volume and drone manufacturing volume. So we are now be able to actually have our own factories, fully vertical integration. We make our own motors, all the PCBs, not chips, but batteries, aluminum parts, chassis, the payload system. Even we are working together with chemical companies to produce formulations for our farmers.
So how many drones do you have in China and globally?
In China, I can see from our data, we roughly have about 110,000 drones daily in daily operation. Worldwide, it's roughly around 150 1,000 drones.
Wow, that's
daily.
impressive. So the last question, would you like to give some advice for young entrepreneurs?
A lot.
A lot,
Oh no,
yeah.
the first one is don't be an entrepreneur.
Why?
It's just too hard. Yeah, if you are willing to sleep little, fight with your wife, and no time to have kid, and be guilty of your cats, Kidding, I'm kidding. It's if you are willing to take the challenge, it's still a very good time to start up a company. I mean, China is still growing economy, and we have already proved to the world we can have world-class companies, startup companies. So just go ahead. I think just need to find a really good partner. Don't trust yourself too much because sometimes you'll be too positive or too negative, right? And to find the right partner, but don't trust the partner easily, right? At the very, very beginning, we spent 10 years together to work out, and now we are both best friends and partners. Yeah.
Okay. Again, I would like to express my personal congratulations for my former colleagues
Thank you.
to have the shining transformation into very successful entrepreneurs. I wish you every success.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.